2013 has been an amazing year for gaming, with the release of games like BioShock Infinite, The Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto 5, and the imminent release of the next generation of consoles. What is there to look forward to next year? Well, lucky for you, I have my list of my top 10 most anticipated video games of 2014, and of course this is my list, so if you don't like my opinion, sorry. Let's start off with the games that just did not quite make the list. The honorable mentions. Dragon Age 3 Inquisition, which, yes, I know not many people liked Dragon Age 2 because it was such a departure from the first game. Now, I never played the first game, but I played the second one, and I thought the gameplay was a lot of fun, thought the story itself was very well told, and I really liked all of the characters. So I really cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the third game. We haven't seen too much of it, so that's why I can't put it in my top 10, because we've only seen a trailer and a couple of screenshots, but I am very much looking forward to seeing what a next-gen Dragon Age game is going to look like. I am very excited for this game. Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. Mad Max. Ooh boy, I love me some Mad Max. The original films are some of my favorites. Mad Max, The Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome. Hell yeah, even Beyond Thunderdome I like. Sorry. I really cannot wait for this game, especially since it's made by the guys that did Just Cause 2. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with an open world post-apocalyptic game that is way different from Just Cause 2's tropical, beautiful looking island. Also, I really want to see if they're going to get Mad Max right. Of course, it's not going to be Mel Gibson portraying him. It's a video game after all, and he's definitely not going to do a video game, that crazy son of a bitch. But I am really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this game. So far, the trailers look pretty damn good, even though they don't look amazing. That's why it's not in my top 10 right now. I am still very much looking forward to Mad Max, the video game, made by Avalanche Studios. Let's see how good it is. Mad Max. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare. When I saw this game at E3, I thought it was so cool. What a great idea. Take Plants vs. Zombies and make it into a competitive multiplayer game that's, you know, somewhat similar to something like Team Fortress, except it's third person and you're playing as plants and zombies. But I was really looking forward to it. The trailer itself was very energetic, very fun. The gameplay itself looks awesome. Graphically, it looks beautiful. I am really excited to play this game, but I'm also a bit skeptical of its release date because it's supposed to come out in early spring, and I hope that does not mean that it gets overshadowed by some of the other bigger games coming out in spring. But besides that, I am very much looking forward to Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. But now let's get into the meat of it with the top 10 most anticipated games of 2014. My opinion, not yours. Number 10. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Now, if you do not know, I'm a huge fan of the Phoenix Wright games. The cases themselves are challenging, the characters are extremely likable, I would even say lovable, and the writing itself is very odd but very funny. So I love Phoenix Wright, I really do. I've actually kind of grown up with the series since 2005. So when I heard there was going to be a crossover with Phoenix Wright and another game series that I've actually really wanted to play, Professor Layton, I thought that was a great combination. It is currently out in Japan, but it's coming out in the US next year, and I am very excited. I have seen trailers and I have seen gameplay, and it looks pretty damn good on both fronts. I cannot wait. So, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright comes out next year, and I am very excited for it. That is my number 10. Number 9. The Evil Within, which is a brand new survival horror game coming out next year, published by Bethesda Studios, and it is directed by Shinji Mikami, the guy that brought us Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Resident Evil 4, a bunch of great games. So I am really excited for this. This most likely will be a very scary game. I've seen a lot of trailers, especially the first trailer that was shown, which was a live action trailer, really scared the crap out of me. But all the gameplay we have seen so far looks amazing. Graphically, gameplay wise, and of course atmosphere wise. It looks great. So I cannot wait to get my hands on The Evil Within. I cannot wait to get within the... Screw it. I'm really looking forward to playing this game. The Evil Within is my number 9. Number 8. Murdered Sole Suspect, which is on this list mainly because of the concept. You play as a recently murdered detective who, as a ghost, has to figure out who killed him and why. You'll need to use his ghostly powers to find evidence and clues, and also to fight off the demonic creatures that are chasing him. It's just a great premise, and it reminds me a lot of Ghost Trick, which is funny because it was, that game was made by the Phoenix Wright guys. The visual style reminds me of an old noir movie, and the main character looks straight out of one. The story is interesting, and I love games where I need to find evidence and clues just to figure out a crime. The only thing I am skeptical about is the developer. This comes from Airtight Games, the developer of Dark Void. I didn't hate that game, but it was nowhere near as good as its concept. Hopefully the same doesn't happen to this game. So that was my number 8 pick, Murdered Sole Suspect. Number 7, Dying Light, which is a brand new zombie game from the guys that brought us Dead Island and Call of Juarez. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with both Dead Island games, even with the problems, and this seems like it'll be just like those, except maybe a little bit better. The game's combat looks very much like Dead Island, but the new addition here is the parkour, where you can actually free run on buildings and stuff to get away from zombies. I also like how they're presenting the story here. You play as a guy who just, is trying to survive, and you have to go and find little crates of food and stuff in the environment while fighting both humans and zombies. I love that. There seems like there's a lot of choice in this game. The graphics look great. The parkour looks very much like Mirror's Edge, which is, in my opinion, the best parkour game out there. And it just looks like it's a great combination of both of them. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. And to the people that are like, oh, another zombie game, you know what? I love me some zombie games. You give me a zombie and I will kill it every time you give me one. I love me some zombies. Woo! But of course, I'm skeptical about it having glitches. Hopefully it doesn't. But anyway, this game looks awesome in my opinion. Dying Light looks great, and I cannot wait for it next year. That was my number 7. Number 6. Halo on Xbox One. Like zombies in video games, if you give me a new Halo game, I will eat it up every time. I have been a huge fan of Halo since the first one, and I still am to this day. We haven't seen much about this game besides an excellent CG trailer shown at E3 2013, so that's why this isn't much higher on my list, but hell, you can color me excited for it. Halo 4 was, in my opinion, spectacular and one of the best looking games of this current gen, so we can only imagine how good a next gen version will look. Continuing the story from where Halo 4 left off will be a treat for anyone that loved the ending to 4 like I did. Well, at least hopefully it will be a treat. Don't let us down, 343. Please don't. I will find you. So there's my number 6, Halo on Xbox One. Number 5. Watch Dogs, which not only was supposed to come out this year, but it was supposed to come out this month in November, but Ubisoft delayed it to make sure it is as good as it could be, and hopefully that's as good as the game looks in its multiple different trailers and gameplay demos. Watch Dogs looked amazing in 2012 when it was first announced, and a whole year and a half later, the game still looks absolutely gorgeous and very inventive with its open world gameplay. You use your cell phone to manipulate the environment to your whim, and it looks absolutely enthralling. The world feels alive, and the gameplay looks like it could be a blast. Could this be the game of the year next year? Perhaps. Perhaps. But anyway, that was my number 5, Watch Dogs. It still looks phenomenal. Number 4. Destiny, the new game from Bungie, the creators of Halo, which, speaking of worlds that feel alive, is an open world FPS that will feel very much alive because of its random situations that will happen in the world and its MMO elements implemented in the game. And from what I have seen, the game looks absolutely astonishing with beautiful graphics, amazing set pieces, and a world that does indeed feel alive. And I got all that from one long 15-minute gameplay demo I watched on YouTube. I mean, it looks incredible, and Bungie had to prove themselves after making the Halo games, some of my favorite games, and I believe they have the right thing to do just that. Destiny looks gorgeous, entertaining as all hell, and inventive. I cannot wait to play this game next year. Oh boy, next year is going to be nuts. So anyway, there you go. There's my number 4, Destiny. Number 3. Titanfall, which is a multiplayer-only first-person shooter made by Respawn Entertainment, which is a new developer founded by the men responsible for the development of the Call of Duty games at Infinity Ward. So why am I looking forward to this? Because I'm not the biggest fan of Call of Duty. Well, Titanfall features parkour-style free-running, another game on this list that has it, first-person shooter gameplay, which I love, and, I don't know, freaking mech warriors. Woo! I'm not sure how it feels, but it looks amazing to be able to shoot around, run on a wall with some parkour, then jump onto your mech, get into it, and then blast your foes. That looks so awesome. Everything we have seen and heard about Titanfall was excellent, and the addition of mechs makes me water from the mouth with excitement for this game. We might end up having a new Call of Duty type franchise on our hands. Hopefully people will recognize that it's actually new and doing something different. I cannot wait for Titanfall, like everything else on this list. So there you go. There was my number 3, Titanfall. Number 2. Infamous Second Son. With minor frustrations aside, I thought Infamous 2 was an excellent game. It had great gameplay, amazing graphics, a fantastic story with so many likable characters, and that ending, oh boy, that ending actually almost made me shed a tear. And everything they have shown about this game so far looks incredible. The graphics are definitely next gen, they look beautiful, the gameplay itself looks as fun and fluid as ever, all the new abilities look nice. The story seems very interesting and the characters look as lively and likable as ever, especially the main character, seeing that he's played by Troy Baker. And not only voiced, but they actually modeled Troy Baker to look like this character. So, I fucked that up. It's the other way around. But you know what I mean. Infamous Second Son looks like it's going to be the perfect addition to the Infamous series. I love 2, so I cannot wait until 3 comes out. There you go. Number 2 is Infamous Second Son. And, drumroll please, number 1 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
The conclusion of Geralt of Rivia's story and the continuation of the story for Witcher 2, obviously. The Witcher 2 floored me with its very mature story and lovable characters. The gameplay was intense, challenging, and rewarding. We haven't seen too much from Witcher 3, but what we have seen looks downright incredible. And yes, I know I have said that about plenty of games on this list, and they are all true, but this one really is incredible. The game features a world that is 20% bigger than Skyrim's, gorgeous graphics, and yet another world that feels living. The combat looks to be improved from the last game, and the game itself will take around 100 hours to complete. But most importantly for me is the wrap-up of the story. From the trailers I have seen, especially the Killing Monsters CG trailer, which might be my favorite trailer of this year, the story will be just as epic, if not more, than the last game. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is the game I have been waiting for the most ever since it was announced earlier this year. That is why I am happy to say that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is my most anticipated game of 2014. Make me proud, CD Projekt. Make me proud.
What are you doing?